Hey Taurus, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we're looking at love and seeing what sort of comes out for you this week. Okay, I will let everyone know before we start. If you do leave a comment on one of my videos, you will go in the draw for that free personal reading. I'll be drawing that when we hit our first 100 subscribers. So obviously just a super small channel. So I really, really do appreciate every single like and comment and subscribe. It really means the world to me, guys. So thank you so much for all your support. I do appreciate it. But today we're starting off with the Soul's Journey lesson cards. They tend to bring out some very interesting topics for us. We also have the Slavic folklore lenormand. I'll be doing the main reading with, and then finishing off today, we do have those beautiful heart-shaped lovers oracle cards. Okay, so I'll get straight on into it for you today, Taurus. Love and romance for Taurus, please. Love and romance for Taurus. Love and romance for Taurus. One more, please. Okay. So first of all, we do have the honesty card coming through. So that does say, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Okay, so whenever I do see this card, it does kind of get that vibe that, you know, being honest with ourselves. So really sort of looking within and making sure we're not sort of lying to ourselves about anything in particular when it comes to love and love connections. Are we sort of, you know, a little bit in denial about the truth of something or someone? It's really that sitting down and being honest with yourself and seeing, how that, that more honest view sort of makes things look for you there. We also see the regret card. So I know that I cannot change the past. Okay, so maybe being honest about something that's happened for you in the past, Taurus. There may be some elements of that, where you may be not completely honest about the fact that you do even regret certain things. Okay, so we have seen quite a few readings this week coming out with issues of, being a little bit in denial and needing to be a bit more honest with ourselves. So, if you feel that sort of resonates with you, and there is something that you've sort of been holding quite close, where you do feel as though you have been in a little bit of denial about something, maybe check your other placements and see what those ones have to say as well. Because like I said, similar theme has been popping out for quite a lot of the reads this week, okay? But we'll get into the Lenormand there. Taurus, love and romance for Taurus, please. Love and romance for Taurus. It's going to tell us all about that anyway, I think, Taurus. And one more, please. Okay, so we are sort of starting off on that theme that I just sort of mentioned there, that, being completely honest with yourself, making sure we're not regretting anything that we may have done in the past, our actions, behaviors in the past. And, that whole issue of, is there something that we are in a little bit of denial about even regretting at all? Sorry, Taurus. Firstly, we do have the snake energy coming out, which was followed by the mouse energy. So the mouse energy does kind of let us know that is more of a past energy. So it does let us know that there is something that has been sort of eating away at you a little bit, probably attached to feelings of loss, something that you've lost in the past. You feel as though something has sort of been stolen from you even. That mouse does sort of nibble away at the back of your mind, and you know that it's there, and it's just a matter of, are we being honest with ourselves and, seeing that yes, that is eating us away a little bit. That snake card there that we do have, first and foremost, it does talk about deception in some ways. Okay, so especially with this reading so far, I do feel as though that is talking about, deceiving yourself in some kind of a way about this loss in the past. As we saw, that regret and honesty coming through with those soul's journey cards, that there is probably something from the past that we do have a bit of regret, and that is kind of eating us away, and we're kind of trying to deny it a little bit, and that's why it's telling us to be honest with ourselves. You can sit there and tell everyone else, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, but you can't keep telling yourself that if you're not. Okay, so the snake also does let us know that whatever this is that you feel as though you have lost in the past when it comes to love or a love connection, you did have strong passion and desire for that connection. Okay, I do feel as though for a lot of you this is feeling like a lost connection. So someone that you thought that it could have been a lot more than what it actually became being, like, and ended up, you have now lost that energy from your path, but you did originally have a lot of passion and ambition to make that work, a lot of desire for that to work out. So it is still eating away at you a little bit. So there is some elements of that where you do sort of really need to sit down with yourself and work out exactly what it is that you are holding this regret. Because we do have that followed by the cross card, and in this particular deck, it does sort of strike a little bit more to that internal suffering, that fact that you had such strong convictions and passion towards this connection in the first place, and now it just feels like it was kind of a burden. It's kind of like your personal cross to bear, so to speak, and you're just carrying that cross, dragging it along behind you, kind of a feeling there. It does also have that strong religious and spiritual element, so it does talk a little bit of also, on the more positive side of things. It does talk about, this probably was, there was a strong sense of destiny in how all this has happened. Okay, so if that is, talking about a loss, you were supposed to feel this loss. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but you're kind of destined to have this loss, so it can actually make you be a little bit more honest with yourself and make sure you're not regretting those things in the future. So if there's things that you regret doing or saying in that connection, it's really that time that we do start sort of carrying those burdens, because it's basically spirit trying to say to us, look, this is destined to happen so that you could learn from this, and that you could actually not do these same things that let you down in the past again in the future. So denying the full truth of things to yourself is only just going to make that journey take even longer. It's going to keep you in this suffering mode even longer. So sitting down and really having that honest chat to yourself, and admitting where you were at fault, admitting where you may be in denial about certain things, and admitting the things that you regret when it comes to that situation, because awareness leads to acceptance, which then leads on to forgiveness, and forgiveness for yourself for those things in the past. And I feel as though that's the destined kind of progression here, is that once you forgive yourself, then you can actually start attracting new and positive energy back into your life, and not allowing this suffering to sort of take hold in a negative way over you, and make you repeat these same cycles. Okay, because a lot of the time with these sort of things, the more that we stay in denial about things and we're not honest with ourselves, it actually will bring that same scenario straight on back. May have a different face and personality, but it'll be the exact same situation all over again. And it's sort of spirit wanting you to deal with it in a different way, and learn that lesson. So, a lot of the times it's super hard to confront these things, but it's for your own sort of betterment, and your own progression and transformation, so that you are avoiding this sort of pain and suffering in the future. So it's one of those super hard things. So I'm sorry, Taurus, if that's a bit confronting. It is a super hard thing to deal with. And, but like I said, the more you prolong, just living in denial, I suppose, and not actually facing these things, the more that you are actually going to end up facing these things, maybe just in the form of suffering and having that eating away at your mind, but these things happen in cycles as well. So you can be pretty rest assured that, things that you don't deal with properly, they always come back around again. It's just the cycle of life, unfortunately. So that's why I always, have my shadow work videos, so that you can sort of start to get some progression happening for your self growth and those sorts of things. So, there may be some shadow work that you may want to sort of look at the moment, and really be honest with yourself about what it is that you need going forward into the future, and not wanting to take those negative aspects with you. Okay. But then we do see a big shift in the energy. Okay. So I feel as though that's just something that, kind of having to work through that energy, work through that, feeling a little bit burdened, and like you are suffering from this loss, in the past still, and the loss is something that you can never just sort of wipe off. It's something that does stick with you for a while, until it's actually being cleared out of your system in the proper ways, So it's not, and even then, sometimes it's still going to pop back up, if it's anything like me, Taurus, it'll pop back up every couple of weeks, and you'll have to face it all over again. I'm in a bit of a cycle at the moment with that sort of a stuff. No matter what I think no matter how far I think I'm getting, I still end up having to sort of test myself all over again. But we do see that energy changing, okay? So we do have that letter coming on through. So the letter is all about communication, okay? So I'm not getting a clear vibe that this is feeling a little bit disconnected. This is feeling like a new energy altogether. So it's actually feeling a little bit disconnected from that past energy. So I wouldn't want to sort of jump on in and say that this is communication from that connection. I do feel as though this is some sort of new energy headed your way, and some sort of heavy communication. It's getting that vibe of like brand new communication. Someone that you may not already know. It might be somebody that you're only just sort of meeting in the near future. It does talk about all sorts of communication, like texting, emailing, talking in person, talking online, all that kind of thing. But it does feel really sort of new. Okay, so it's kind of that vibe of, getting to know someone, kind of communication, I feel. And that was followed up with the book. Okay, so it does feel like new. The book does talk about new chapters in your life coming through, writing your own story the way that you want to write it, and really, you never know what the next page is going to hold, kind of a vibe. It can also have a little bit of a background there in things like researching and educating yourself a little bit more about certain things. So you might be communicating with someone, on a more, like, I want to say, like an educational factor. So you may be sort of doing some sort of training, some sort of education through your career, elsewhere outside of those sort of things. You might be sort of studying something, or something like that. And maybe that's where this communication is coming through. They do feel quite linked there. Like I said, that letter does feel quite new, and the book is all about that new. Like I said, it could just be that getting to know someone, and that's the research you're doing, just sort of talking to this person, trying to get to know them a little bit better. Okay, but I am getting that research coming through, so it's kind of a little one of those vibes too. Is like a bit random that if it's not you that's going to be doing this, you can be sort of rest assured that they will. I do get that vibe that it'll be like oh, I've just met this person. I'm just going to have a look on socials and have a look through their old um, posts and photos, and just so I get more of a vibe. Like that sort of doing your research. I do feel like someone's going to be, scrolling through somebody's Instagram or Facebook, and just sort of seeing where that person comes from in the past, see what you can sort of find out. So a little bit of a stalker vibe, but not overly, okay? It's just that sort of, it feels more like just doing your research just to make sure that there's no big red flags or anything like that, okay? But then we do have the stars card. So that's one of the most beautiful cards when it comes to love, because it does talk about wish fulfillment, okay? It talks about all your dreams coming true, all the things that you've wished for are definitely there to be found for the taking. So it's having a lot of hope and optimism that all your dreams are coming true, because, yeah, you know, you've wished upon a star and now those stars are falling into your life. You know, so they're not that far away from you, Taurus. It does have that vibe of, you know, when you do sort of get into these new chapters, that a lot of your wishes are going to be fulfilled. And I do strongly feel that that's a love wish, but then there may be another wish tied up with that as well. Like I'm just getting this vibe that there may be something career related with those three cards at the end there. That you know, you, like I said, you may be doing some sort of training for work, and that's how you start talking to this person a little bit more. I am just getting that as a bit of a side vibe there. Okay, so for some of you this may be work related as well. Okay, so you know, if you do have, you know, if you do have a wish, a clear wish come through for you in the next you know, however long there, you'll kind of know that if it's a clear wish, like that's something that you've been wishing for that happens at work, all of a sudden that happens, you kind of know that, yeah, you're definitely on the right track, because I am feeling that linkage for a couple of you there. All right, but we do have those lovers oracle. I'll grab you a couple of those as well. Love and romance for Taurus. Love and romance for Taurus. Love and romance for Taurus. Okay. Okay, so we do have this card here, which does say, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Okay, so I feel like that's linking up with that regret. Okay, so make sure you're not regretting any of those memories that you're holding close. You know, focusing on the good memories and not allowing those burdens to overtake you. And then, nice, beautiful, simple card here. It does say romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. Okay, so that's that new energy. It's definitely there coming through in those as well. So I do feel as though this is going to be, you know, I keep getting the vibe it's going to be like earth shattering in a way. Okay, for some reason, that some of you that may mean something in particular, but I am getting that it is going to be a quite strong connection, this next connection coming in for you, Taurus. It's feeling really nice and lovely. Okay, but yeah, that's what I've got for you today, Taurus. Let me know how that resonates, and you know, if it doesn't resonate, feel welcome to check your other placements. Like I said at the start, I would really appreciate it if you could like and comment on the video. But if this is where we leave each other, thank you so much for your time today.